I'm Ringer, and this is my prospecting journal. Come on, let's go prospecting. Hello and welcome to Ringer's Prospecting Journal. Welcome to 2025. This is my first time out this year, and we're going on a little scouting trip. There's a bunch of streams in the area where I was prospecting last year, and they kind of meet up at a lake out here. And I'm going to go check out some of those other streams. It is early in the year. It's in mid-April right now. We had a lot of snow runoff and rain the last couple days. Heavy rain last night on and off. So I don't know if these creeks are going to be accessible or not. They might be too deep. But we're going to go down and take a look at them and see if we can find some gold. What I'm doing today is I just got a shovel and a gold pan and snuffer bottle, and we're just going to go on a little scouting trip, see if I can find the next big thing. So access to these areas out here is via old logging roads, newer logging roads, ATV side-by-side trails. It is the beginning of the year. Said a lot of wet weather the last month. So I'm not exactly sure how the roads are going to be, so I'm going to be very careful when I'm driving around out here. Don't want to rip up the trails at all. So that might limit us to our scouting or the creeks that we can get to. But we're going to do the best we can. All right, we reached our first spot. Wasn't too difficult to get to. Walked the logging road down to the bridge, hopped down into the brush, cleared a little trail going through the brush alongside the creek, and came to our first spot. I think I want to do some test panning. So let me get you turned around and I'll show you what this area looks like. So as you can see, we got some steep embankments running on both sides of the creek. Real steep. That's to the direction where I came from. Got a pretty decent water flow going through here, so definitely run a sluice box if you want. I was checking the area up in there. A lot of sand and stuff. Didn't see much for cobbles or anything like that up in that area. But as soon as we got down in here, it's like the water picked up. We got a little bit of rapids, and we're seeing some bigger rocks. So we're gonna test pan around in this area and see if we can find anything. See, we still got a little bit of ice built up along the shore, but it's not too bad. And then we'll make our way down that way and see what's off in that direction. All right, we got our first pan of material. Give you a close up on that. This is just the top layer. I haven't really dug down too far yet. Where some bigger cobbles. Looking right from this spot here. Look at the creek, it kind of S-turns around this way. You got the bigger rock there and starts in with the rapids over here. So we're gonna test pan in between here and see if we can find anything. All right, first test pan. Got a few small pieces, which is surprising being right on top. One in the center of the screen. Couple over in here, some micro dots. I would say probably, 5 little tiny micro dots. So all told, not too bad for a first attempt. I'll get this snuffered up and dig a little bit deeper, see if it gets better. All right, so I took a second pan of material out of the same hole, dug down a little bit deeper. The results weren't as good. It wasn't as far as piece count goes. I did find one piece in there, but it was a little bit bigger. But there was hardly any black sand whatsoever in it. So next I'm going to take a shovel or pan or two out of the center of the creek and see if the gold's concentrating in the center. So we'll do that next, and if see anything decent, I'll let you know. Ew, something died here. The hair all over the place. All the way over in there, all the way here. So the area that I'm in, there are wolves in this area, and also black bear. This could have been a winter kill that they got and then they dragged away. I don't see any bones or anything, but there is a lot of fur. So, all right, we're moving on to our next location. Didn't get anything from the center of the creek, so we're going to move on downstream and see if we can find a gravel bar or something to work. Like I said, hardly any black sand in that first location, so we'll see what we can find. So I climbed up the bank a little bit just to try to get a overall view of what we're dealing with. Got some nice S curves going all the way around. There's scattered boulders and cobbles throughout. It's a nice little stream. Fortunately, I'm not seeing any like rock and gravel bars. Just big boulders scattered everywhere and cobbles, and haven't seen any really areas that's concentrated. It could be too much water. It could just be buried underneath the water and I'm not seeing it. But it's a nice little stream here. I think it has a lot of potential. Like I said, I think just water is a little bit too high and it's very hard to read. I'm going to take a walk down there and around those S curves down there and see what it looks like just on the other side. If not, I'm going to move on to the next location. But yeah, just looking downstream, you can just see how steep the banks are. I mean, it goes up forever. I don't think the camera does them much justice as how steep this is. But just think back of how many hundreds of thousands of years this creek was on, slowly eroded through and concentrated everything down here at the bottom, supposedly. Like I said, I'm not finding much for heavies. So this is a location where I was digging or test panned last weekend. That boulder there on the right was down in the hole, so I moved that out of the way. And right underneath that was that little boulder there. But digging down, I still haven't hit any clay, but I got a half a pail full of classified material. I'm gonna run it through the sluice, and I'll do that a few times until I can hit some clay and see what we get. Well, folks, came back to same location I was earlier in this video. During the day last weekend when I was out here, everything was really wet. With the steep banks and stuff, I didn't get a really good opportunity to explore. When you're out here prospecting by yourself, the number one rule should always be safety. And I realized I'm not a billy goat. And the steep banks, and as wet as they were, all it would take was one little slip and I would have been tumbling down about 20-30 feet into some boulders. So I figured I'd just leave it at that for exploring for the day. I did come back. It's the following weekend. I brought my sluice box, 5-gallon pail classifier, and we're going to run some bulk samples. Wasn't really getting much of anything in the pan. Not a lot of black sand, couple little tiny pieces of gold here and there. But I haven't hit any clay yet, so what I decided to do is come back down to my first location that I was at and set up a sluice box and run a bulk sample. Go down a little bit deeper and see how far down it is before I can hit some clay. Let me get you turned around here. You can see I'm running my 6-inch Gold Hog mini sluice. Got pretty decent water flow here, so water's not a problem. Just getting the right pitch and angle to run the material good. I'll ran a couple test shovels through there, did some adjustments, so I think I got it now. So I'll run this material and be right back if I find anything interesting. Here, there's my fourth and final bucket, half filled with classified material, classified down to 1/4 inch. We're gonna get that, ran it through the system there. Figure 2 full 5-gallon pails of classified materials is a nice bulk sample to do. Once you get that ran out, I'm gonna do a cleanup and get out of here. The clouds are rolling in and they are expecting some storms, so I don't want to get caught out here. Just to give you an idea, dug out behind the boulder there. Doesn't look like much right now, but when I stand in there, it's up over my knees, and I still haven't hit any clay. So, not exactly sure what's going on, because usually you hit clay in this area and in the first 12 inches or so. But yeah, we'll see at least what the top section has. I'll say I haven't gotten to a clay layer yet. Not holding up too much hope, but I'm gonna get this stuff ran, get it all taken home, and then I'll do a secondary video that shows up the cleanup. I got a new cleanup tool that I got from the Flower Gold Wizard. They got ordered one, got one of those 3-inch smooth water head cleanup sluices, so I'll be giving that a try. Not only will I be testing it out on this material, but I'll also be testing it out on some Lake Superior sand that I have sitting at home. We'll see how well that goes. Well, I'm going to sign off here, folks. Feeling some raindrops. I still haven't ran that bucket yet. I'll get that ran real quick, and then yeah, if you like the video, again, stay tuned for the cleanup in the next video. And if you do, please like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell icon to receive future notifications, and leave a comment. It helps build the channel. Until next time, folks, this is Ringer from Ringer's Prospecting Journal. God bless.